So, Barca beat Benfica today. Barcelona convincingly secured their place in the Champions League quarter-finals with a 4-1 aggregate victory over Benfica, extending their unbeaten run in the competition to 9 matches. The Catalans put on a show at the Olympic Stadium, with Lamine Yamal and Rafinha stealing the spotlight. The hosts wasted no time asserting the dominance. In the 11th minute, Yamal danced past Florentino, shrugged off another defender, and scuffed his shot, only for Rafinha to pounce and volley home the opener. Benfica responded immediately, with Otamendi rising to meet Schielderup's corner and heading past Szczęsny to level the score. Then came the moment of the match. Yamal, not content with merely assisting, produced a piece of magic in the 27th minute. After Rafinha's free kick was recycled, the 17-year-old skipped inside from the right and curled a stunning strike into the top left corner. It was a goal that cemented his place in history, making him the youngest player ever to both score and assist in a Champions League match. Barcelona wrapped up the tie before half-time. Balde slipped Rafinha through, and the Brazilian finished clinically past Trubin to notch his second of the night. With a comfortable 3-1 lead, Flick's side took their foot off the gas in the second half, but they remained in control. Frenkie de Jong came agonizingly close to a fourth, missing from close range after an exquisite team move, while Araujo headed into the side netting. Benfica, meanwhile, struggled to create much beyond their lone first-half goal, registering just 0.74 xG compared to Barcelona's 2.52. The Catalans now await the quarter-final opponent, with Borussia Dortmund or Lille up next. So Inter finished off Feyenoord today, securing their spot in the Champions League quarter-finals with a 2-1 victory on the night and a 4-1 aggregate win. Marcus Thuram opened the scoring early with a brilliant effort, but Feyenoord found a lifeline before half-time when VAR awarded a penalty, which Jakub Moder converted. Despite that, Inter remained in control, and Hakan Calhanoglu's second-half penalty ended any hope of a Dutch comeback. Inter dominated possession and XG, creating several exciting moments, including Thuram hitting the bar. Feyenoord fought hard but ultimately fell short. Inter now turn their focus to a crucial Serie A clash with Atalanta, while Feyenoord face FC Twente in the Eredivisie. Their reward in the quarter-finals: a showdown with Bayern Munich. So Bayern schooled Leverkusen today, sealing a 2-0 victory in the second leg to progress to the Champions League quarter-finals with a dominant 5-0 aggregate win. Harry Kane opened the scoring after latching onto a Kimmich free kick and tapping into an empty net following a defensive error. Leverkusen, despite producing 1.35 xG, struggled to break down Bayern's defense and were repeatedly denied by Erbig's strong goalkeeping performance. Any hopes of a comeback were dashed when Kane set up Alphonso Davies, who controlled the ball before firing into the bottom corner to put the tie beyond doubt. Bayern's superiority was reflected in their 2.05 xG and overall control of the match, while Leverkusen were left frustrated after failing to convert their chances. It's the end of the road for Alonso's men, while Bayern march on into the final 8. So PSG knocked out Liverpool today. After a tense 120 minutes at Anfield, PSG and Liverpool couldn't be separated, with both sides winning 1-0 away from home in the tie. A 12th-minute Dembele strike meant it all came down to penalties, and Gianluigi Donnarumma emerged as the hero. The towering Italian goalkeeper made 2 crucial saves, denying Darwin Núñez and Curtis Jones, while Desiré Doué slotted home the winning penalty to send the French champions through to the quarter-finals. Throughout the match, both sides had their chances. PSG looked sharper in extra time, with Doué going close twice, while Alisson was forced into a big save to deny Dembele. Liverpool, despite an early flurry of opportunities, struggled to break down PSG's resilient defense in the latter stages. The Reds even struck the post late on through Jarell Quansah but couldn't find a winner before the dreaded penalty shootout. PSG's composure from the spot and Donnarumma's brilliance made the difference on the night. For Liverpool, it's a heartbreaking exit, especially given their rich history of dramatic European nights at Anfield. But for PSG, it's a statement victory, proving they can grind out results on the biggest stage. So, Dortmund edged Lille today. Coming from behind to win 2-1 on the night and 3-2 on aggregate, Borussia Dortmund secured their spot in the Champions League quarter-finals after a tense battle in France. Lille took an early lead through Jonathan David's strike, which slipped through Kobel's legs, but the visitors steadily gained control. After knocking on the door for much of the game, Dortmund finally broke through when Kankouli converted a penalty, though replays suggested minimal contact on Guirassy. Momentum fully shifted when Bayer, who had been lively all night, found space just inside the box and rifled a stunning strike into the top corner, putting Dortmund ahead for the first time in the tie. Lille desperately searched for an equalizer, but Haraldsson's pinpoint cross was volleyed straight at Kobel by David in their best, and final, chance of the match. The stats told the story of Dortmund's dominance, as they generated an XG of 3.06 to Lille's 1.48. Kovac's men now advance to face Barcelona in the quarter-finals, while their immediate focus shifts to a Bundesliga clash with RB Leipzig. Lille's Champions League dream ends here, and they'll now turn their attention to domestic action against Nantes. So PSV gave Arsenal a good game today, drawing 2-2 in North London to end their Champions League campaign on a positive note, though Arsenal comfortably progressed to the quarter-finals with a 9-3 aggregate victory. Zinchenko opened the scoring early with a well-placed strike against his former club, but Perisic quickly equalised with a brilliant finish. Arsenal regained the lead before half-time through Rice's powerful header from a Sterling cross. In the second half, PSV showed resilience, and Driouech secured a draw with a delightful lob over Raya. While Arsenal's progression was never in doubt after the dominant first-leg win, PSV gave their fans a strong performance to remember. So, Villa schooled Brugge today. A whirlwind start to the second half saw Aston Villa storm into the Champions League quarter-finals, dismantling Club Brugge 3-0 on the night and 6-1 on aggregate. Asensio bagged a brace, while Maatsen netted his first goal for the club, all within 15 chaotic minutes after half-time. Brugge, already down to 10 men after Saab's early red card, had no answer for Villa's relentless second-half onslaught. Despite a sluggish first 45 minutes, Unai Emery's tactical tweaks transformed Villa into an unstoppable force. Rashford, thriving in his new surroundings, was instrumental, assisting Asensio's second goal and playing a role in Maatsen's strike. Tielemans also came close, testing Mignolet with a thunderous drive, while Bailey's impact off the bench helped set up the opener. Villa's dominance was reflected in the XG, finishing with 2.58 compared to Brugge's paltry 0.12. Now, with a historic quarter-final clash against PSG on the horizon, Emery's men can bask in their achievement, before turning their focus to an FA Cup quarter-final against Preston North End. For Brugge, the European adventure ends with a trip to Charleroi next. Villa fans will be dreaming of bigger things, but for tonight, it's all about celebrating a resounding European triumph at Villa Park. So Atletico Madrid was robbed today. After 130 grueling minutes of football, Real Madrid found a way through yet again, despite Atletico Madrid leading the tie 1-0 on the night and pushing the game to extra time. The aggregate score stood at 2-2, but Madrid prevailed in the penalty shootout, winning it 4-2. Atleti started the night needing to overturn a one-goal deficit from the first leg, but they wasted no time in equalizing. Conor Gallagher stunned Madrid just 27 seconds in, finishing a low cross from Rodrigo de Paul after an intelligent dummy from Giuliano Simeone. From that moment on, Atletico were the superior side, even if they didn't dominate possession. They created far better chances, forcing Thibaut Courtois into several crucial saves. Alvarez tested the Belgian twice in the first half, while Griezmann and Giuliano Simeone saw strong efforts denied in the second. Real Madrid, by contrast, looked sluggish and uninspired. Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappé were marked out of the game, barely finding space to make an impact. But Madrid's golden ticket came in the 70th minute when Clement Lenglet brought Mbappé down in the box, gifting him a penalty. However, Vinicius wasted the chance, skying his effort well over the bar and keeping Atletico's hopes alive. With neither side able to break the deadlock in extra time, penalties became inevitable. Mbappé, Soloth, and Bellingham converted their spot kicks before Alvarez slipped while taking his, causing the ball to make contact with both feet, an unfortunate mistake that nullified what would have been a valid goal. This turned the tide in Madrid's favour. Although Oblak kept Atletico in it by saving Vázquez's penalty, Llorente's miss, smashing the ball off the crossbar, was the final nail in the coffin. Rudiger then stepped up and scored Madrid's fourth, sealing their passage to the quarter-finals. Atletico may have won the XG battle, 1.42 versus Madrid's 1.15, but that's of little consolation when you're on the losing end. Despite dominating large portions of the match, Diego Simeone's men once again fell victim to Madrid's resilience in the Champions League. For Los Blancos, it's another dramatic European night in their favor, as they now look ahead to a quarter-final clash with Arsenal. Check out my YouTube for more content.